Finishing at the rim is the most commonly missed shot in all of basketball, so we gotta be able to work on it. Now, we've all seen the Jalen Brunsons, the Kyrie Irvings, the Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders have elite finishing packages at the rim. But what are three main concepts that they all have? The first thing they all have is the ability to manipulate the ball around and away from their defender. The second thing is they have elite footwork. They can go off their left foot, their right foot, off 2 foot. They can mix up the timing of the shot blocker. The third thing is they have elite touch. They can get to the basket, but if they don't have the touch to finish it, then none of it matters. We're gonna cover all three of those concepts today. So the first concept we have is ball manipulation. Here's what would be a bad rep. I drive in, he's on my side, I have a really good angle, and I finish the ball forward, he's gonna be able to take that ball. But if I have him on my side and I can go up with the ball here and then manipulate the ball out, well, look how much more separation I have from my defender. But the other benefit is it also improves my angle back to the basket, where now I can actually use that angle to get that ball back off the glass. So this would be a bad example. I drive in, I got a good angle, I go forward. He's gonna be able to block that ball because I didn't manipulate it. This would be a good angle, same exact one. I drive forward, I got him on my side, oh, I bring that ball out. Now I can manipulate it away from my defender. And again, now I have space and room to get that ball back off the glass. Another common example of when you could use this is if I'm driving and there's a rotating defender and I go like this, a lot of players like to get here and they try to be, flashy and finish through the defender, when really what you gotta be able to do is manipulate the ball and finish around your defender. He's in front of me, I gotta be able to finish around. So this would be a bad rep. I drive in, he slides in front, I go like this, I just try to finish through. Unless I'm, 6'6" and can dunk on somebody, it's not gonna give me good results. It's the same exact thing. You're gonna slide over, but you're now gonna see instead of me going forward, I manipulate the ball out where now he can't get the ball. So I drive in, he slides in front, I manipulate that ball out, and now I can finish and touch it around that secondary defender that rotates over, which is so commonly happening in the game. Another common example of when to manipulate the ball is when a defender rotates from the side. So if I drive in, I go straight forward and I just finish, a lot of times that defender can time up. Where if I can go like this and he rotates from the side and I can get here and fake like I'm gonna finish and reverse it on the other side, he believes I'm finishing on the strong side because I went up. When he goes forward, I bring it back down and back out, and now I have space and a better angle to finish on the other side. Another little quick benefit, if he's like this and I can bring the ball up and then slightly down and then back out, it improves my momentum. So if I did it like this, you're good. If I did it like this and it's so hard to have power. So the benefit of having the ball go up and slightly down before out, it gives you more room for the ball to travel, which gives you more range of motion, which leads to more power. Let's get into a bad rep and then a good rep. So first, when I'm driving in, I'm not gonna manipulate the ball. I'm taking off, I drive in, I just try to finish right here. Now he's gonna get that right there. Second one, same exact one. I'm gonna fake and sell like I'm finishing on that strong side. So I'm like this, I take off, I sell this, I manipulate the ball, and I can finish back on the other side. The next concept is all about footwork. There's only 3 ways to jump: off your left foot, off your right foot, and off 2 feet. So we have to be able to master all of them. Here's an example of when you would want to use that second step. So say I drive in and I go like this, and there's some space between he and I. If I pick it up here, and then that second step, I go forward, he's still with me to block that angle. But if I can take that second step and veer, so I go like this and I drive, I feel that there's space, I feel space, I use the second step to close that space and cut him off. And if he slides with me, I can just use it to get into his body and separate back out. So it's called a veer finish. It's something that we all have to be able to work on. The second option is finishing off your first step. We call it a same foot, same hand. So this would be I'm driving, I have a slight advantage against my primary defender. If I go here and take 1 step and then 1 more step, he could time up and think to himself, okay, 1, 2, then jump, which can lead to a blocked or, bad finish shot. What I want to be able to do if I have a slight advantage is get here, cut off his angle, but finish off that first step because it's quicker and it alters the timing of my shot blocker. So this would be a bad rep. I'm gonna drive in, you're gonna give me a slight advantage, and I'm taking off. So I drive in like this, I go 1, 2, too slow. But you see the next one is gonna be way quicker because it's off my first step. So I'm taking off, I get here, I take off, he's slightly trailing, quick, first step. Well, now you can't time it up. I left the floor before he did, and now I have a much better chance to get that finish off before he even left the ground. The last way to finish is off 2 feet. There's so many ways to do this. You could go inside foot. You could go jump stop where both feet hit together. You could go stride stop where your outside foot hits before your inside foot. Regardless of how you want to do this, we need to know how and when to really use that 2-foot finish. So a lot of times if I'm driving, I have a good angle, but as I'm going, there's not like a clear-cut, easy read. There's not like a solution where there's space where I veer, he's trailing where I want to go same foot. This is more like he's engaged with me. Maybe he's physical, maybe he has length, maybe he's slightly in front of my shoulder. So instead of forcing a finish, I want to get in here and bump, bang, land on 2, and then decide what I can do. I could finish right away, I could shot fake, I could pivot if I need to. The benefit of 2 feet is it gets you on balance and it gets you more options to decide what you want to do. So this is what would be a bad rep. I'm driving in like this, I'm taking off, he's slightly in front, I go here and I just finish and just force my way through. What I want to do off 2 feet is land on balance and take my time. So this would be a better rep. I'm driving, notice he's slightly in front of my shoulder or more just even and physical. So when I take off, I'm here, I bump, I land, maybe I fake, and then I go up and finish. That alters the timing. One other good example would be this. It's the same exact thing. Try to really block that finish when I land. So I'm like this, I take off, I fake, oh, got him on the pivot. Certain situations call for different footwork options. We need to be able to master all of them. The third concept is having good touch. If I get to the basket but I can't convert, then none of the footwork options, none of the ball manipulation really works. So if I drive in, we say this all the time, get the ball high and soft. This would be a bad rep. I'm driving in, I take off, I get a good angle, but then the ball is super low. One thing I like to teach is, if I'm on the left side, don't miss on the left side. You would be better off literally going like this, and if you're gonna miss, try to miss on that side, because at least you gave it a chance. You'll see the next one's a better rep because the ball is higher, it'll be softer, and I'm not allowing myself to miss on that same side that I finished from. So now I take off, I'm here, I take off, I got a good angle, ball is high and soft, and now I can drop it in with a better drop angle. Another common time you gotta rely on your touch is if you're driving in, a secondary defender pulls over, and you gotta trust that touch high and soft up and above that defender. So if I'm taking off like this, like we said before, if I just snap it straight to the basket, it's gotta go straight in. The benefit of having a better high and soft arc on your touch, it improves the drop angle, it gives you more room for error, and if it does hit the rim, it typically is gonna have a softer bounce, which can still bounce, and drop, as opposed to just having to go straight in like we just said. So if I take off, this would be a bad rep. I'm driving middle, he slides over, I'm trying to get off super quick. Notice, it hit the rim and just bounced away. So now let's get into a good rep and you'll see how much higher and softer that ball is. So I take off now, I go middle, he slides over top, I get that ball up, and now I can just drop in clean. Notice it hit the rim, but instead of the first one where it hit the rim and bounced, that one hit the rim and dropped. That is what you want when you finish. Get that ball high and soft, improve the drop angle, give yourself more room for error, which leads to more makes. There's so many layers to finishing, but here's what I know. If you have good ball manipulation, you can finish off any foot, and you have really good touch around the rim, it'll help all of you be better at finishing when it really matters.